We're holding that kufal on top. I told you I was on the bottom, but I was on the wrong top. We're holding all the way on the top. So a lot of times the Gemara likes to give us kishmak hagat before we go into the real sugyas, into the heavy duty stuff. We're talking about the four things that you have to walk 4 mil. 4 mil, we said it's 72 minutes, approximately 72 minutes. One of them is netilas yadayim. If you're looking for water for a sandwich, you have to go 4 mil, 72 minutes in the direction forward, as the Gemara is going to say. Legabel, if you were hired to make dough for a minyan, it says shul. Taisus points out it's for the minyan, and for our sugya of leather to make it keep it b'tahara. You walk in it as shoes, 4 mil. It says the Gemara all the way on the top. 4 mil, 72 minutes, which is a very long time. And we even said, somebody pointed out that in our days, the poskim say that it's not just walking. Since we have cars, it's 72 minutes in a car. 72? 72 minutes in a car. No, 4 mil. Each mil is 18 minutes. The Gemara says you have to go 4 mil. If you're on a trip, you're in an amusement park and you need water, and you're going in a certain direction, you have to go an hour and 12 minutes to get water, to wash your hands. You can't touch the sandwich unless you have gloves or something, whatever that is. What? That's what the Gemara says now. If you're in the right direction, you're going there anyways. You want to stop for the night, so you're mechuyev to keep on going. To go out of your way, so he's medayik that forwards you have to go 72 minutes. Backwards you have to go 18 minutes, up to 18 minutes. Tanu Rabbana. Ligyoin ha'oiver mit what?
Trying the plane round.
Plane, I don't know, but yeah. If it's a private plane, yeah. 18 minutes in a private plane. Ligyoin ha'oiver mit mokim lemokim. You have a bunch of soldiers, goyim, going from one place to the next place. V'nichnas labayis, habayis tamei. She'ein l'cho kol ligyoin, v'ligyoin she'ein lo kamo karkiflin. The goyim, for kishuf, yeah, please. Shkoya. They thought that if they bring these skins that they took off heads, especially of Jewish chachamim, gedolim, it would help them a lot. So they would
scalps.
Yeah.
Talisman.
What is it called?
Talisman.
Talisman.
Word legion.
Is a gdud. A legion. Yeah.
Like a good luck charm.
Legion is legion. Like a legion.
Yeah. Sometimes see on the buses they have hanging.
Shrunken heads, scalps. Indians had scalps.
All right. Good luck. It's good luck to schlep around. And don't think this is crazy what I'm telling you. The famous story of Rabbi Shmuel, the daughter of the king, wanted to save she asked her father to save his skin, and they skinned him, and they would walk around. The malachim would walk around. Rabbi Schoenberg sent me Erev Shabbos. Somebody wrote a book, and in the book it claims that they do this till this very day in Rome. They pull out Rabbi Shmuel's head. They still have it, and there's actually a picture of it. I didn't want to print a picture because, to me, that's not how Rabbi Shmuel looked. I mean, it's just his skin. It's pretty grotesque. So I didn't print it. He doesn't have a beard. He doesn't look like this big gadol, this holy man.
What's the name of this?
This book, some guy, right? It's a Goy author. She says they do it. They do it till this day. The question is if this Rabbi Shmuel going go. They have something that they say that's thousands of years old.
She makes up another story. But I'm saying that it's very likely that it's Rabbi Shmuel because Rashi.
Oh, he says, okay, fine.
Rashi in Brachos says that this head is till this day.
Right, Adayim is there. Rashi over here says it, I believe it. Rashi says over here, no? I saw this Rashi, yeah.
I can tell you is that
You're right.
The chief rabbi of Israel sends the bill for the Last Supper to the Romans every year.
Okay, say this, so it's your pshat. But they do have the concept, at least, they have this concept of the skin of a face that they tanned, they preserved it, and they pull it out. Fine. All right, so
where it says someone takes the skin to his parents.
no, that was we have to make exer that they shouldn't make a carpet out of the parents' skins. Yeah, it was a big thing, the skins. So the Mishnah says like this: there's three reasons why there's three uses you can make out of the hide of an animal. Either you could use it as a flat surface to cover a table, a bed, or a rug maybe. The other one is to make it into some sort of flask. When you make it into a flask, so when you take a flat, you wanted a flat piece like for a sheet, as Rashi says, a tablecloth. So you cut it right down the stomach, and you start pulling to the sides. Basically, like the guy did for us at the demonstration, the Shechita demonstration. But when you're careful, what?
A line rug.
Yeah, they do it. They still have it till today. They sell the cow rugs. They still sell it.
It took him quite a long time to do this flame.
This guy?
Yeah, was it the whole time?
He was very good. I thought he didn't nick the meat. He made sure not to nick anything.
It took time.
It was pretty quick.
We wanted to make sure that he was.
In the factory, by the way, it takes about 3 seconds. They have hydraulics. They hook it up and just gives one yank. It comes right off in a second.
It has also air pressure from the inside when it pulls it out.
It's a machine. In those days, it took forever.
It took him like quarter of an hour, half an hour.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting
Yeah, that's
article that he concludes
Didn't
from
want to
here
nick any
Yeah.
that a Goyish mace is Metanavaya. Because we're talking here, we say.
But I thought the Gemara is bringing Rabbi Shmuel. He's saying this. I was medayik that was Jews. Interesting. I thought it's not metam. I thought a guy is not metam boil.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Interesting. Who says he brings that? But they brought Jews at the time because they brought Jews. Interesting.
I'm not in dispute.
Okay.
Only Jews would make it.
But you can't prove from here anything because they bring a raya from a Jewish skin. See, that's the shaila. The shaila is a goy metame boil or not, and some want to bring a raya from here that a goy is metame boil. But the Gemara brings a raya. The Gemara's stories of Rabbi Shmuel, who's a Jew. So I would think that the Romans, that these goyim had Jewish skins. But he's saying no. They brought Rabbi Shmuel, but in general, when they went to war, they would bring goyish skins, and you see from here that it's metame boil. Anyways, let's go back to our Mishnah.
We baskin that the goy is matana boyim, halacha l'maisa, and as a Korean I can tell you it's a problem going into a place like British Museum, these places where they've got mummies, you can't go in, or going to hospital. Big problem.
I thought it was only.
And in these days, you can't go on a plane anymore.
So in
Almost every flight there's a dead mason. No, I'm talking about with the travelers.
Yes.
I flew on a flight more than once when there's dead people in the thing.
That's Jewish people. The Jewish people know Shabbos.
I'm saying, but according to you, the goy is metama, you're passing like that. So
In a hospital in London, if a goy dies, and
the whole thing, yeah.
I thought it was only.
All right, Rabbi, so we got to move on. Everybody's very talkative tonight. It's late at night. It's geschmack. So let's go. We have a big sugi ahead of us. So it goes like this. So you cut the animal from top to bottom. You start schlepping from the sides. The Mishnah is discussing what halacha does the skin have once you remove a little bit of it, a lot of it. Since you grab onto the skin and use it to pull off the rest of the skin, is that skin considered a yad for tumah? Because skin itself doesn't have tumah. But if you touch the skin that's on an animal, you become tumah because it's part of the animal. We said benivlasa, you have to touch the actual nevela. But if it's a yad or a shomer, so what halacha does this skin have when you start pulling it off? Now, so the Mishnah is going to describe 3 uses. Either the carpet we got through. The next 2 uses is the same use. It's to create a flask. When you create a flask, you don't want any holes in it. So what do? You start from the top, you start from the neck, and you start pulling downwards. You double it over, and you start pulling the skin all through the animal. So that's a little different, the Gemara says. So you could start from the top, or you could start from the legs, and work your way upwards. Says the Mishnah, Hamafshit bebehemo b'chaya b'tohir b'tmei. It doesn't matter what animal. Since the toughest part of the animal is the chest, so everything up to the chest, if you start from the top down, you get to the chest, so everything, even more than 2 tfachim, is still part of the animal. If you start from the legs, you have all the way up the animal until you get to the chest, which is considered all a yad. Because you need all of that to pull and yank the hide off. Hamargil kulay chibur tuma. So if you go from the legs, hamargil means you start from the legs, but you're doing it for a flask. Kulay chibur tuma, the entire thing is tamei. Letama uletama, to become tamei and to give off tuma. Or shalat savar. So now, what does it mean? Kulay chibur. Is it literally the entire animal considered? The skin is considered, or perhaps the neck is not? Or shalat savar, since it's so loose, right? The animal has to move in all directions. It looks backwards, forwards. The skin around its neck is not really stuck to the body like the rest of the skin. Rabbi Yochanan says the neck is not considered attached to the animal's body. So therefore, all the skin of the animal besides the neck is tamei. Chacham say everything is considered attached to the animal and it's tamei. So if you only have this tefach that the Mishnah says, or the k'dei achiza, which is 2 tefachim, the Gemara says in a second, once you get past those 2 tefachim, what happens? Do we say that everything that's closest to the skin, to the animal itself, is tamei? Because I always need to grab onto something. As I'm pulling and yanking, you can imagine you're pulling with all your strength this leather, this hide, the skin off the animal. So we said whatever you grab onto is tamei, is part of the animal. Let's say you got 5 tefachim of skin off. Maybe 4 of them are tar, but the last tefach that's closest to the meat is tamei because it's a yad. I'm going to hold on at that tefach and pull from there. Right? That's what the Gemara asks. Omarav tar hamuvshot. So everything is tar. All 5 tefachim, however many tefachim you pull off, it's all tamei, besides what's on the animal itself. What remains on his meat is still tamei, is still a yad. Rabbi Yasi Omar, tefach hasomach lebasar tamei. Rabbi Yasi says no. Now there's a very big yisoid here in Rashi that explains the whole machlokes. He says it in 2 words. Ularav lav yad choshev le Elohim came mitaten leboyas ha'oichel, says Rashi. What is a yad? A yad is a handle, like a briefcase. I'm holding the handle to hold my meat, to hold my briefcase. But what if I have a handle that helps me pull off skin? That's not a handle, says Rav. So Memela, once I'm done with the skin to hold up the animal, I'm not using the skin anymore to hold up the animal. All I need is skin, the loose skin, all I'm using it for, thank you, is to remove more skin. That's not a yad. It helps me, but that's not a yad. A yad means I could carry the animal with it. So therefore Rav says, all the skin removed, as k'dei achiza, is not a yad anymore. I don't consider it part of the animal. And Ravasi says, tefach hasomach lebasar tamei, but the tefach that remains closest, I don't care how many tefachim you took off the animal, but that tefach that's the closest to the animal's meat, I still use it to rip off the skin. So it is a yad. That's only according to Ravasi. Rav is mechulek on that yisoid.
According to Rabbi Mitzias, that skin that was peeled off is not used anymore to hold the meat with?
Right. Who holds a sheep by a 10 tefachim piece of skin? You hold it close to his body.
No.
At one
But
stage
according to
it
Rav,
was.
you don't. That's still not considered tumah. Going to Rav, the whole
Right. But if I have a very long piece of skin, I'm not going to hold. I don't use it. It's too far away. It's too messy. Maybe it's too hard to get to.
Did it
even
use-
what's considered
Yes, even what the closest to the basar, I don't use
does it
at that
use
point.
its tumah? I mean, he pulled it from there.
It never had tumah. It never had tumah. It was a conduit to tumah.
Okay, but
It
but
through that tumah went in and
that
out.
tefach or whatever the
Yeah.
name is, it started at the top.
Right.
And as it travels down, maybe that tefach travels down.
That's
Right?
Ravasi. That's exactly Ravasi. Ravasi says that
So
tefach.
it was tumah at the beginning.
It wasn't tumah. It was a conduit to tumah.
Conduit, was it?
It was a conduit to tumah. It lost its conduit. If you snip it off, it's not a conduit anymore. So as it gets further and further away from the animal's body, it's not a conduit anymore. Ravasi says the first tefach closest to the animal, that's still attached to the animal, even though it's not attached, it's loose, but it's the closest to the animal. I still use it to pull off the rest of the meat, of the skin.
The way it actually
When it
helps
says
you.
tumah here, it doesn't mean it's tumah.
It means a conduit to tumah.
But the animal is, let's say the animal is a tracer.
Okay, that
Alright. Meisvei. Hamafshit kashir azeh. Mikan be'elach, if you take off this shear, the two tfachim, mikan be'elach hanugeh b'mufshat tar. So you're tar. If there's more, you took off more than the two tfachim, it's tar. It seems like from the simple reading that it's never tame anymore. Don't bring me a raya from here. It's talking about, yes, everything is tar besides the one tevach closest to the animal. In other words, there's not a raya to here or here. Toshma. Again, another raya we're just going to throw off. When you have the skin that's opposite of the basar, that's a shomer, or shekeneged basar tamei, habetevach hasukla basar tahar. It seems like the tefach, again, the same thing. It seems like the tefach that's closest to the basar is tahar. Tana kol tefach hasam the basar, or shekeneged basar karelay. No, that is actually considered keneged basar. Don't bring me a raya from here. We still don't have a raya for tefach hasam the basar. Tashma. Hamafshit bebehemo bechayo betahiru betmeyo bedaka ubegasa l'shatiach kidei achiza. This is mamish like in our Mishnah, but it's a brisa and it sticks in. V'tefach hasamoch lebasar tahar. It says mefurish, the one tefach that's closest to the basar is tahar. Hacha b'ma'eskina betefach rishon. So for this, I brought my belt to explain to you what this tefach rishon is. It's very simple actually, but to say the words, I said on the 8-minute video, I have a belt and it came out weird. This Gemara is going to say right over here, right? This is the animal. Okay, you're the animal for a second. No, okay. I'm the animal. So these two tefachim are a yad. This tefach from blue to blue, according to everybody, is nothing. Zero. Why? Because I can't pull from here, and I can't lift the animal from here, so I can't do anything from here. Why can't I pull from here? Because it's a little bit too far. What? Yeah, but I'm going to say in a second two tefachim. I just okay? One tefach is two tefachim in this Gemara. So again, this area, according to everybody, is kosher, and then from this area, 3 tefachim away, here's the animal. 3 tefachim away, here's the machlokes. Rav says nothing. Rav Asi says no. I could still use this to pull from the animal. What's going on here? So Rashi explains that from here I still use the pull. Why? Because I use the leather becomes heavy, so I have gravity and I can pull. But from here I don't pull. What?
So where's the animal?
This is the leather. This is the animal.
Not tefach samach lebasar.
This is 2 tefachim. Right. This is tefach samach lebasar up to here. Right. Hold on.
Okay,
This tefach is tefach rishon.
that's right.
Tahar. Tefach rishon means. Now the Gemara answers. Tefach rishon. All I'm explaining is what does tefach rishon mean? This is tefach rishon. From blue to blue is tefach rishon. According to everybody, it's tahar.
And after that also.
And after that, Rav Asi says it's tamei.
No, why?
Yeah, because I can use it before.
No, that's not tefach samach lebasar that Rabasi said. Rabasi is talking about the first two.
No. Oh. This, right, but this becomes tamei. According to Rav Asi, this is tamei if I could pull from here. Yeah. Let's see inside. Oh, okay, fine, you're right. Once you get to here, everybody agrees this is nothing, but from here, I could still pull. Rav Asi says I can still pull from here, so maybe this is tamei. This is tamei. You get what I'm saying? This is nothing. According to everybody, this nobody uses to pull for whatever reason. It's not pullable because it's too close and it's not heavy enough. But once I get to here, what is that? A mouse?
Yes.
Last time was it under my feet?
Like literally that way.
Okay.
Mine is the elephant.
All right.
It's in the room somewhere.
Last time the mouse here. It comes from outside. Say
That
there.
way?
I'll do it up there.
I'm sorry about that.
It's horror, you know.
What are you talking about?
The internet wasn't working, so he wanted to join the shit.
Well, that's behind there, no?
Is the internet really not working?
No, maybe
There's a whole
No, there's a giant hole by the door. They come from outside. It's not a mouse, it's a rat, no?
How big is it?
You have the mouse?
Mice are like this big.
There's a mouse in here. It's a rat. It's a rat. All right, fine. Baruch Hashem.
Hello.
No, it's gewaldig. It's all good. Actually, we need it. If you have it, we need it soon. It's coming up in the sugya. We have to see how you could de-skin a rat. It says it's very tough. All right. It's mamish, like hands-on, because Baruch Hu brought it to us, so we can do it hands-on. All right, so we have the Tefach Rishon, understood? Tefach Rishon Rabboisai again is not the Tefach closest to the animal, it's the Tefach closest to the two Tefachim. That's what Tefach Rishon means. All right. Tano. I got to go back to the videotape to see how that looked. Tano, Kam Kedei Achizo. Tefach. Botanya Tfachayim. What do we do there? It says Mefurish, it's two Tvachim, Omar Abaya, Tefach Kofel. There's a concept called Tefach Kofel, and when it says Tefach, it means two Tvachim Bayas. It could be some explained because at the end of the day, you fold over the skin every time, so it's really using, it's two Tvachim, but it looks like a Tefach, because you fold it over when you pull it. It makes sense, right? When you want to get a good grip, and when you just pull it, you fold it over and then you grab both of them. Okay. I don't know. We got to look it up. Tefach Kofel.
It's because they...
It's paskin like that, la halacha. You see, it's two Tvachim.
When they roll it out, it's doubled. The skin is doubled.
The skin itself is doubled, or they roll up? All right. Okay, not awesome. So we have a very interesting halacha coming up here. According to Rav Nachman, or Rabbi Bar Yosef, the name Rav Nachman says in his name, I call him Rav Nachman. I don't know why. I should have called him Rabbi Bar Avua. According to Rav Nachman, or Rabbi Bar Avua, a new concept. If it's something that we have a roiv, he doesn't like roiv ever. Don't do a roiv. Don't do 51%. Why? Because 51%, you could confuse it, and you could say that it's really 50%, and you think it's 51%, and you're over. So what I need you to do is, says Rav Nachman, you got to go all out. You have to do the whole thing. Cut it completely. Whatever the shear is, do it all the way. I don't want to hear about 51%. 51% is a problem. Xeri, you might not do 51%. For instance, when it comes to tumah, and you have to cut something, you want to make your garment tar, as we're going to see in a second, so it says, you cut it 51%. And the guy is an Oiber Chacham, he doesn't want to ruin his garment, he doesn't want to lose it completely, but he doesn't want the tumah for that day, so he cuts it 50%, he pretends he did 51%. So I'm telling you, what I need you to do is cut the whole thing. But now the Gemara is going to ask, where else in Shas do we have 51%? We have throughout Zvachim. You have to do Shchita 51%. Don't do 51%, do 100%. So there's a few different things, Maliko, different things that the Gemara is going to go through, see if it goes together with this shita. Not awesome. Talis sheitchel balakara. You have a talis and you want to tear it. Why? Because you want to get the tumah out of it. Kivin shenikra aruba shuv ein chibur utahira. So once you are able to tear 51% of it, it's no longer tamei. Omer Rav Nachman, Omer Rabbi Bar Avua, lo yishanu elo b'talis tfulas yoim. I don't like this because I hold this gzera and I need you to do 100%. So this halacha, this mishnah, the only way I could explain this mishnah is if it's a tfulas yoim, meaning I put my talis in a mikvah and you're worried. You guys didn't believe me. Didn't believe me.
We're worried about ruining the towel.
I had a crazy story once with the Rashiva. I don't know if I told you, with Rebecca Freeman from Beitar. I was talking to him, and I was saying Lashon Hara about a certain individual, a relative of mine, and I said, she's like a mouse or something. She's like a mouse, because he said, oh, she's very cute or something. I said, mice are also cute. And as I said that, a rat in the shul in Lincolnwood ran over my shoe, and I'm like, what? Did you just see the mouse? I can't believe it. I just said she's a mouse, and he's like, you're dreaming. He made this whole thing about me that I'm dreaming. Now, a few weeks ago, I said there's a rat. I saw a rat coming down. No, there's no rat. And we moved the thing around. I said it went in here. So at least one of the two stories. I wanted to go to a lab and see if they could see the footprint of the rat on my shoe. So what's the pshat? It's not. The rat doesn't care about that.
We're worried.
This guest is never coming back. They're never coming back, these guests. What are you doing here?
We're from New York, we can handle that.
But hot coffee you can't handle on laptops, on Gemaras.
Oh, that's just coffee.
You're gonna need more than that. Lots of cases.
All right, we're standing up. We're boys. It's one of those nights. It's late. It's 9:30 at night. Okay. I have unbelievable reflexes for coffee. I'm like nobody can get me with coffee anymore.
You had to develop it.
Fine.
And actually, take your
Because what's going on here? Rabbi, please, we got to get through this. I have a lot of stuff to do tonight. So we have a situation where a roiv works. Why does a roiv work according to Rabbi Baravu, even though he says roiv doesn't work? Because it's talking about a tvul yoim. Tvul yoim, that day in the mikvah is nobody's gonna think that a person puts his coat into the mikvah. It ruins. Rashi understands that it's not good for his garment. The water is going to ruin, like he has a nice velvety coat. So Memela, since he doesn't care about it, says the Gemara, he is going to for sure do a roiv. He's going to cut most of it. He's not going to try to save his coat now. Once he puts it in the mikvah, he shows he doesn't care about his coat, about his garment, and Memela, we're now worried that he's not going to cut the rest. The So he's not gonna care about it. He's gonna tear the rest of it. So Rab Nachman or Rabbi Ravu hold that no, in a regular case where it's not a tvul, it's not a tvul yoim. In other words, I just want to get rid of my tumah without dunking in the mikvah. So I come up with an idea. I come up with a trick. I tear 51%. And now my coat is no longer tamei. But I didn't show that I don't care about my coat because I didn't put it in the mikvah. So then, in order to really show that you don't care about your coat, cut it down the middle 100%. Don't be soymech on a roy. That's not true. You can't use this trick. You can't say putting in the mikvah shows that he cares. That he doesn't care. Why? Because people don't know that it's ripped, and they'll say, "Oh, look, he's using his coat. It's not tamei anymore. Why is it not tamei anymore? Because he put it in the mikvah." And everybody knows they have to wait until nightfall. You have to have erev shemesh. Tvul yoim. That's one problem with what you're saying. Again, don't say that a mikvah helps here because people don't know that it's ripped, and people are going to confuse mikvah and saying that it works to remove the tumah. And now we have another question. Stop, a general question on this concept that roiv doesn't work. We should have a problem. We should say that by oilas ha'oif that you're not allowed to cut the whole neck of the animal. You should have to. Why? Because if you only do 51%, you might not do 51%, you might do 50%. Wait a minute. But you can't cut the whole thing. You can't cut the whole thing because the Torah tells you not to cut the whole thing. There's a cause if you can't cut the whole thing. Right? We had the whole sugyan in Zvachim.
You're not allowed to cut the head off.
Right? You're not allowed to cut the head off. So the pshat is Tosfos explains, simple pshat. All the Gemara is asking is, you shouldn't be allowed to do 51%, but you should have to do 80%. At least make a heker leinayim that it's so obvious that it's roiv. Don't get away with an halachic roiv of 51%, because 51% you might not come to do it by oilas oiv. Who does oilas oiv? The kohen in the Beis Hamikdash, the malika. He shouldn't be able to get away with 51%. He should have to do at least 70%, says Tosfos. Why? Because if he does 51%, according to Rabbi Baravu, he might do 49%. He might do 50%. 1% less is treif. It's an avela. He should have to do something that I could see with my own eyes. A heker leinai. Says the Gemara, the first time that you said I don't like, and the second time I don't like. The first time that you said that people might make a mistake and say that you could go to the mikvah, dunk your coat into the mikvah, and you could use your coat right away, and it's not tamei. Nobody's going to make that mistake. Why? They see it's ripped. They'll understand it's because of the rip that you're using it, not because of the mikvah. Kira Merchiach Aleh. And you just asked me a question by Melika. You should have to do 70% Melika, 51% shouldn't be enough. His reasoning, it's never an issue. Why? Because a kohen knows what he's doing, and a kohen is not going to make a mistake, and you don't have to be making zera for a kohen that he might do 50%. Kohanim, they're gonna get the job done. Tashma, right, Rabbi Shomberg?
We've got the internal controls.
They have more controls than us, he says. Okay. So says the kohen himself. Toshma, amavshid, what? Yeah, let him think. What do you care? This is reason. When it comes to avoid, at least.
They've got the act together.
In the Beis Hamikdash. Toshma, amavshid bebehema ubechayo bit. Oh, so why are we bringing this whole thing from Masechtas Kelim? What does that have to do with our sugya? Here it comes. Hamavshid bebehema ubechayo. That's our Mishnah. We said in the Mishnah that as long as you can grab onto it, that grabbing onto it is still a conduit for tumah, in and out of the animal. You can be medayik, the symbol diuk, and the Gemara is medayik, we said already, but anything more than that 2 tfachim is tar, it's not a conduit. Amai, according to Rabbi Baravur of Nachman, how could you say that if a guy rips off 3 tfachim off his animal, according to Rav, all 3 tfachim atar, according to Ravasi, the 2 tfachim, the 1 tefach is tar? Wait a minute. What happens if the guy didn't rip off 3 tfachim? What if he only ripped off 2 tefach something? Maybe he only ripped off 2 tefach and you don't know. It seems like it's 3 tefachim, it's only 2 tefach. You should always make a gzera that it always remains tamei. According to him, 51% is not good. So 3 tefachim is also not good. It's the same thing. Says the Gemara, you're right. But our Mishnah, a big chiddush. Our Mishnah, according to Rabbi Baravua, must be talking about a tumah d'Rabbanan. And since it's a tumah d'Rabbanan, I don't make a gzera. There's no reason for me to say, you have to be very careful, you have to remove all the skin, because maybe you didn't take off more than 2 tefachim. Nah, it's only the Rabbanan, and I don't have to go that far. What is the case? How do you have tumah the Rabbanan? Now, we're talking about in our Mishnah that the person is tamei or the animal is tamei, right? Because either it comes out of the animal into the person touching, or it goes from the person touching into the animal. It's a conduit, 2-way street. So we have to see, how do you have tumah the Rabbanan in both ways? Teinach tamei b'tahira. If the person is tamei, a tumah the Rabbanan in a tahira, okay, I can understand. How? If the animal is kachin and the person is tamei d'Rabbanan, there's a whole list of tamei d'Rabbanan. For instance, Rashi gives us one example: a person that dunks himself in a mikvah of mayim shuvim from the faucet, roshi v'ruba into the mikvah, he's tamei d'Rabbanan. This guy that's tamei d'Rabbanan went and touched a kachim animal, boom. So he created tumah d'Rabbanan. So now, in that case, we don't make him take off all the skin. As long as he takes off more than 2 tefachim, the more than 2 tefachim is not tahar anymore. But tahar, if a person is tahar, bitmeya tumah deraisehi. Anytime you have a dead animal, how do you have a dead animal that's tamei d'Rabbanan? A dead animal is deraisa. It's an avela. Says the Gemara b'treifa. We're talking about treifa. Let's see. There's no more. Everything has to come off. No, but more than that. Kedei achiza, we said it's 2 tefachim. So it has to be more than 2 tefachim. These rats, you have to go to New York. You'll see a gezunta rat, the size of a dog, walking around the subway system, place like leftover. Fine. He wasn't even sure if it was a rat. It looked like a mouse. I'm telling you, it was a rat. Zok the Gemara, loitei mahaba gomalei mechibur. Your diak is a little off. You're saying that since it's talking about shratzim, so I can be medayik that a camel is tahar. And why should it be tahar? No, say a different diuk. We're talking about a sheretz aleima ba'or shalat savar in a chibur. Not a whole camel, just the loose skin of a camel by its neck shouldn't be a chibur. And Rabbi Yochanan Nuri, and it goes according to the Rabbi Yochanan Nuri in our Mishnah, that it's so weak, the skin by the neck it's really not connected so much to the animal, the mela, it's not considered a chibur. That's your whole deal. We don't have a good kash on Rabbi Baravua. Okay, and that's it. We're done with that sugya of Ravua and his Rav. By the way, if you mamish love Tuma and Tyra and all these things, I have very bad news for you. It's going to be over in about 4 days. So you should chaperayim in every single daf, and then it goes into very easy. It's more than 4 days, 5 days, whatever. Then it's like it becomes very easy all the way to the end of Masechta. And B'charis is also very easy. So this is your last chance to mamish chaperayim Tuma and Tyra. 5 daf, 6 daf. Okay, Omer Ravuna. Mishum Rabbi Shimon Rabbi Yosi. Ravuna says in the name of Rabbi Shimon Rabbi Yosi. Loishanu elo loishir bokidei mafaris. We're talking about a coat. Going back to the coat that we have, a guy has a tummy coat. He needs to use it right away. It's emergency. He has to use it. He needs a sheet for his bed, but it's tummy. So what does he do? He cuts the coat. He cuts it. So if he cuts roiv, it's tar. It removes the tar. Why? Because it's no longer a coat. If I have a coat and I cut it right down the middle, I have a suit and I cut it twice, big giant cut. Roiv, it's not a suit anymore. It's garbage. I can't sew it up. I can't do anything. Nothing. Yeah. Okay. Says the Gemara. It's as long as he didn't. I don't know. I didn't work out the whole shear, but you have a roiv and you have mafaris is like a scarf, like a sudar. Oh, Rav Schomburg brought it. His mafaris, some sort of sudar. Now, if you have a handkerchief left over, some sort of sudar left over in this coat, then it's a problem. Then it's still tummy. Aval shirba kadei mafaris chibur. It's considered tuma. Omer Shlokish lo yishanu ela talis. Aval or cholim. So Rish Lakish says a halacha, and we're going to try to attack Rish Lakish until the end of the Amud today. What does he say? He says that when it comes to leather is so tough that if you leave even a little bit over, that's enough for me to sew up the rest, and it's going to be very strong, just as if nothing happened. The cut never happened. When it comes to a coat, a cloth, and I cut it, roiv, there's no going, I can't sew it. It's not going to hold. But leather, if you cut it the whole thing through and through, if you go from top to bottom, okay, that's it. That's not strong. But if I leave a little bit of it, I don't know how much that shear is, a little bit, tefach, you're saying, okay. Why? Because it says later on, kol shu means a tefach. It says somewhere in the next daf, kol shu, but I don't know if it's talking about that. Okay, but I leave something, then I could sew it up, and it's considered as if it wasn't ripped ever. And now the Gemara is going to bring all these different places that seems like that halacha doesn't.
What's the case?
I have a problem with that whole sugya.
Yeah.
Because we learned somewhere that if you have a Tom Keli, you break it, you make a hole in it,
Right.
loses Tom, and then you can reconstruct the Keli.
Oh, time out.
No reason why not to put it together again and use it together, and it's no longer Tom. Doesn't.
You're talking about a kli that you fixed?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it has to be, you have to
No.
make ice keli.
Yes, you make a ice Keli,
But
then you hear
Time out.
say,
No.
ice garment, but you can
If-
sew it up again.
No, I didn't say you sewed up. If you could sew up, maybe. If you could, that's not enough.
This Keli.
That's not enough.
It's not
Just because you could doesn't mean you did. Maybe if you actually sewed it up and you wore it, maybe it would be. I don't know.
If you break a tanor, and then you
The tanner is tanner.
Each piece must be small
But how do
enough.
you, we're talking about a big tanner, so he's going to tear it up into little pieces. Is that,
No, one tier down the middle, run 50%.
you're going to leave the.
All right, let's see inside. We're almost done, Rabbi Isai. Omer Shlokish Lishon Talis have or cholim. Or doesn't mean literally it heals itself, but it's strong enough that it's considered healed. Rabbi Yochanan Omar Afilo or Namel Cholim. Rabbi Yochanan says that a piece of leather and a cloth have the same halacha. We don't say that it's strong enough. Eiser Rabbi Yochanan Shlokish or Tmei Medris. You have a piece of leather that's Tamei a tuma of Medris Chishav Olav Lirtzuis V'Sandalim. If he thought in his head that he wants to make it into shoes. Once he puts the knife to it and starts cutting it, it becomes tar. Now, according to Rabbi Yehuda, it has to be less than 5 tefachim by 5 tefachim. But the problem is, according to Rish Lakish, so what if it's less than 5 tefachim? I could sew it back, and it'll be as if it's brand new. Says the Gemara, if I cut it down the middle, then it's okay. Then it'll heal itself. Or if you sew it, it's good. Imagine you're making ritzus for tefillin, let's say. You take a piece of leather, and you start cutting an inch off the edge, and you keep on going around. That inch is not strong enough to be considered as if it's new, because it's an inch off the side, and that's what he's doing.
The tooth is much longer than the leather, right? So the only
I
way-
thought it's because it's the width.
No.
It's just
To get longer tzuas
yeah.
from a piece of leather this big, how do you do it?
You go around in a
Go
circle,
round and round and round in circles. So you'll see there's tzuas are never straight when they hang down. They're always-
right?
Because it's going round in a circle.
So you're saying that's the reason?
Yeah, that's what it is.
But it doesn't say. It says even if he started doing the ritzuas, tar, even if he started, because that little bit on the side is not strong enough. I thought it's because of the strand. You tell me later. I don't know.
It's a way of cutting.
I understand, but it's not. He didn't get to the middle yet. He didn't cut the whole leather. He started. He did 3 inches on the side. The point is that's mikatzeya. It's on the side. Ubali derech svivaisov. It's on the edge. And the edge, you're not going to sew up the edge of leather. You can't sew the edge of leather. You're sewing up. It's not strong enough. Mazar Rabbi Yirmiyah. Hamavshe bebehemo bechaya betohiro betmeyo bedako begazah shdech de'achiza. Our Mishnah. Hayaser migdeh atar. If I remove more than 2 tfachim off the animal, it's tar. V'amay lemechalim. Let him sew back. Says the Gemara, you can't sew back hide of an animal you took off back onto the animal. Once I remove the leather from the animal, it's off the animal. I can't put it back on the animal. You're talking about a flat piece of leather that I cut in half. I could sew that back up. But I can't sew the leather back to the cow's stomach. That doesn't work. Rabbi Yosef, or shalat tzavor, the skin that's on his neck, why is it not attached? You can attach it back, it could get back. What are you asking me a kasher Rish Lakish from Yechim Benuri? Rish Lakish holds like Chachamim, it's even better. What's the whole machlokes between Chachamim and Yechim Benuri? Anyways, b'shomer, we're talking about not a yad, we're talking about a shomer, that it protects the animal. Now, this protection, it's so loose, the skin around his neck, that's going to come off by itself. Is that considered a shomer? An umbrella that's going to fly away by itself, whatever. Something that's not, it's not a good shomer. I'll see you all tomorrow in about 12 hours. Oh, a lot less than 12 hours, sorry. In 9 hours.
So it's not a show, because it's not protecting the animals.
What?
It's not protecting the meat, it's not protecting.
It's protecting right now, but it falls off by itself. It's a weak shomer. It's mamish